The story of Nemours Mansion begins with Alfred I. Pont, heir to one of America's most powerful industrial dynasties, whose vision for a French-inspired estate in Wilmington, Delaware, was both a testament to wealth and a reflection of ambition that bordered on obsession, and in 1910, Nemours was completed as a 105-room French neoclassical mansion set amidst 300 acres of meticulously planned gardens, fountains, and reflecting pools, with every detail imported from France, including marble, chandeliers, tapestries, and decorative stonework, creating an environment of breathtaking elegance that simultaneously reflected Dupont's desire for control and perfection. Yet beneath this grandeur lay an undercurrent of secrecy, human cost, and quiet tension, because the construction demanded hundreds of skilled artisans and laborers working under strict supervision, often in extreme heat and humidity, with scaffolding high above the meticulously landscaped grounds, and several minor injuries occurred, while illnesses such as influenza and heatstroke were common among workers, though rarely acknowledged, creating an atmosphere where the pursuit of perfection was enforced at the expense of safety. The mansion itself was designed not only for display but for privacy, with concealed staircases, servant corridors, hidden passages, and locked rooms that were off-limits even to household staff, creating a psychological environment where control was absolute, and where Pont, a man known for his intense discipline and reclusive tendencies, could orchestrate every detail of daily life while limiting access to sensitive areas, leaving servants fearful of mistakes and visitors in awe of the precision and opulence, while whispers among staff told of abrupt dismissals, sudden changes in household rules, and corridors where strange sounds, footsteps, doors closing, and the faint echo of voices could be heard at night, incidents that were never publicly discussed but persisted in local lore. Nemours was not just a home but a stage for social strategy and personal retreat, where Pont entertained European dignitaries, industrial partners, and political figures. Yet during these gatherings, subtle incidents occurred, including power outages, sudden drafts that extinguished candles, and mechanical failures in elevators or plumbing, often in the presence of esteemed guests, which Pont quietly mitigated to maintain the mansion's flawless image, reinforcing the duality of Nemours as both paradise and site of unseen tension. The gardens, modeled after the formal French style of Versailles, carried a hidden symbolism, with reflecting pools, statues, and fountains arranged to display control over nature, yet hurricanes, floods, and heavy storms repeatedly tested this illusion, damaging ornate stonework, toppling sculptures, and flooding basement service corridors, forcing urgent repairs and occasionally trapping workers, incidents that were treated as routine but contributed to the mansion's reputation as a place where beauty demanded endurance and vigilance. As Pont aged, Nemours transformed from a symbol of youthful ambition into a fortress of memory, secrecy, and solitude, with rooms sealed for private study, rarefied collections hidden behind locked doors, and servants reporting that the mansion felt alive, its vast halls echoing footsteps, whispers, and the emotional energy of decades of disciplined labor and human ambition, creating a psychological weight that lingered even after the estate was formally abandoned or partially open to the public. After Pont's death, the mansion entered periods of neglect, during which vandalism, weathering, and looting affected certain sections, while caretakers continued to report unexplained phenomena, such as doors opening on their own, lights flickering in unused rooms, sudden drafts, and shadows moving along corridors and stairwells, reinforcing the sense that Nemours had absorbed both the visible and invisible histories of the people who built, maintained, and inhabited it, a mansion alive with the residue of ambition, secrecy, and the human cost of luxury. Today, as Nemours Mansion operates as a museum and historic site, visitors marvel at the architectural beauty, French-inspired gardens, and ornate interiors, yet many report an emotional weight, an almost imperceptible tension in certain rooms, and the feeling of being observed, suggesting that while the mansion has been restored and preserved, it remains a place where the grandeur of human creativity coexists with the hidden costs of ambition, labor, secrecy, and mortality, making Nemours not merely a relic of the Gilded Age but a psychological landscape where history, wealth, and obsession intersect, and where every corridor, reflecting pool, and gilded ceiling continues to whisper the untold stories of the lives, sacrifices, and secrets that brought the mansion into existence, ensuring that its beauty carries not only admiration but also the weight of memory, human endurance, and the subtle darkness of a world built for control, prestige, and the illusion of perfection. During the building of Nemours, hundreds of laborers worked on scaffolding, high terraces, and with heavy imported stone. Several workers suffered injuries from falls, crushes, or heat-related illnesses, though records of deaths were rarely kept or publicly acknowledged. The swampy and humid environment contributed to widespread illnesses among workers, including influenza, heat stroke, and infections. These conditions caused delays and contributed to an atmosphere of tension and fear among the construction crew. Alfred I. Pont enforced rigid household rules. Servants reported being closely monitored, with sudden reprimands or dismissals for minor infractions, creating a climate of stress and silence. Early elevators, plumbing, and electrical systems malfunctioned during both construction and early use. Some incidents trapped servants in service areas or caused localized flooding, all quietly repaired to maintain the mansion's flawless image. Certain wings and rooms were permanently locked, including areas for Dupont's private studies and collections. Servants were forbidden to enter, fueling speculation and rumors about secretive activities. Hurricanes and storms damaged terraces, fountains, and gardens. Heavy rains flooded basement corridors and service areas, sometimes trapping workers temporarily. After Dupont's death, caretakers and museum staff reported footsteps in empty halls, doors opening or closing on their own, lights flickering, and cold drafts in sealed rooms, adding to the mansion's aura of mystery. Servants reported anxiety, isolation, and fear of punishment due to Dupont's strict rules. Many resigned abruptly, and some refused to return, contributing to the mansion's dark reputation. Workers maintaining large fountains and reflecting pools occasionally suffered injuries from slippery surfaces, heavy pumps, or falling into water features, incidents mostly unrecorded publicly. The mansion's design included massive terraces, stairs, and balconies that were visually stunning but physically risky for both construction workers and later staff, particularly during stormy weather or night shifts.